right corner. And we are now live. Thank you and good morning, good afternoon to some. Welcome and thank you for joining us for How to Land and Become a Great Mentor online webinar in partnership with SCORE. This is Rachel Hampton speaking from the Walker's Legacy team. We're so excited to have you all join us on YouTube. Again, thank you for joining us this afternoon. A little bit more about Walker's Legacy before we go ahead and get started. Walker's Legacy is a global platform dedicated and mission to inspire, educate, and equip multicultural women in business and entrepreneurship. We have a presence in over 20 cities in the United States, including where we're based here in Washington, D.C., Chicago, Detroit, Atlanta, Houston, LA, just to name a few. And again, we're really excited to speak with you all today, have you viewing with us here on YouTube, to speak a little bit more about the importance of mentorship and business guidance and counseling, not only just for small business owners, but specifically women business owners and women of color business owners. We know that women of color are the fastest growing segment of business owners and entrepreneurs in the United States, pardon me. But we also recognize that this group of promising entrepreneurs and business owners and change makers disproportionately lack access to a variety of things, such as funding, access to business networks, and lastly, and of course, most importantly about what we're speaking today, mentorship and support groups. So today we have an all-star lineup of SCORE mentors from the SCORE network who will be joining us today, sharing some more insight on their personal experiences, what encouraged them to become mentors, and how you can get involved with Walker's Legacy and SCORE to be a mentor yourself. So at this time, I will go ahead and turn it over to SCORE's Regional Vice President of the Southwest region, Ms. Beth Shapiro. Go ahead and get us started.
Thank you so much, Rachel, and welcome everybody. It's very exciting to be able to do this webinar along with Walker's Legacy. And I just wanted to start off by just telling you a little bit more about SCORE. You may not have heard of us, but we're a national organization. We're a nonprofit association that's dedicated to helping small businesses get off the ground, grow, and achieve their goals through mentoring and education. We've been doing this since 1964, so we've been around for quite a while. Our work is supported by the SBA, the U.S. Small Business Administration, and thanks to our network of about 10,000 volunteers in over 300 locations throughout the United States, we're able to deliver our services to small business owners at either no charge, all of our mentoring is at no charge, or at a very low cost for our workshops. So you can see that we're a national organization. We are very excited to be able to talk to you about the importance of mentorship this morning or this afternoon, and also about if you are thinking about becoming a mentor, how you can do that as well. So without further ado, I want to just mention to you what our mission and our vision is. SCORE's mission is to foster vibrant small business communities through mentoring and education, and our vision is that every person has the support necessary to thrive as a small business owner. And just to set the stage a little bit, and Rachel mentioned this, this is from the data I'm going to give you now is not data I made up. It is from either American Express, Open, or the Harvard Business Journal. And we know that today the number of women-owned businesses is growing at a rate 5 times faster than the national average. 79% of new women-owned businesses are started by women of color. And while women own 30% of U.S. businesses, they receive only 4.4% dollars in conventional small business loans and only 7% of venture capital funding. So we've got a long way to go. And as we talk today, we'll be able to address some of those issues. But I do want to introduce to you somebody that is going to kick us off and talk about the importance of mentorship in small business. And that's Congresswoman Alma S. So let me tell you a little bit about her. Dr. Alma S. was elected to her second term representing the 12th Congressional District of North Carolina in November of 2016. After winning a special election in November 2014, Congresswoman Adams was sworn in immediately as the 100th woman elected to the 113th Congress. Representative Adams sits on the Committee of Education and the Workforce, the Agricultural Committee, the Small Business Committee, and the Joint Economic Committee. She also has several leadership positions, including Assistant Whip for the Democratic Caucus, Vice Ranking Member of the Small Business Committee, and she is also the founder of the first ever Congressional Bipartisan HBCU Caucus. She's part of the Women's Caucus, Diabetes Caucus, Congressional Black Caucus, Progressive Education Caucus, Historic Preservation Caucus, et cetera, et cetera. So without further ado, let me introduce to you Congresswoman Alma S.
Thank you all for inviting me to celebrate National Mentoring Month with Walker's Legacy and SCORE. I want to extend my further thanks to Walker's Legacy and SCORE for convening a meeting to discuss the important issue of mentorship and specifically the role that mentors play in helping minority women entrepreneurs. As vice-ranking member of the House Small Business Committee, I am happy to report that there are currently 5 million minority women-owned small businesses. Minority women entrepreneurs are paving the way for women-owned businesses and are the engines of their local economy. And mentorship is an important tool of success for women entrepreneurs. Last year, I hosted a roundtable with minority women-owned small businesses and the need for mentors. And mentorship was a topic that came up again and again. Good mentors help financial backers without a business plan. Good mentors guide women business owners towards the most fulfilling and successful career path. Good mentors sometimes just serve as sounding boards, providing women entrepreneurs with the confidence they need to move forward. We need good mentors, but we need mentors that know the struggles of being a woman of color in the business world. Mentors that know what it's like to face discrimination in the workplace. Mentors that understand the struggles of balancing work and personal responsibilities, such as caring for children or other family members. Today's webinar will provide us with the opportunity to examine the crucial role mentorship plays in a successful minority women-owned business venture. I look forward to hearing from all of you about the role professional guidance and mentorship play in successful business ventures. Thank you.
Thank you, Congresswoman Adams. We are very, very pleased that you got us started this morning. So I want to introduce our panelists today to you. I'm going to start with Cathy Walton, who is in the middle of your screen here. Cathy has over 30 years as a senior executive leading and managing corporate and governmental organizations. In 2007, Cathy purchased the third largest party equipment rental in the greater Memphis area. Today, the company is #1 in revenue. Bounce in Fun Events Rental LLC specializes in portable climbing rock walls and extreme inflatable. They serve clients within 200 miles of the Collierville area. Cathy joined SCORE as a volunteer in 2005 and serves as the district director for Tennessee. She is the past director of programs for the Sales and Marketing Society of the Mid-South and past president of the Kiwanis of East Memphis. Welcome, Cathy. Next is Chunny Sudana. Chunny began her career at Google, gaining unparalleled experience in the online advertising space while also establishing herself as an online business growth expert. Chunny currently works as a business consultant in online strategy, and she is known for her innovative approach to drive business growth. She calls Fresno, California her home, is a member of the Fresno, California SCORE chapter, and has a really interesting story to tell, which she'll share with you in just a few minutes. And now we have Ulrica Jones. Dr. Jones is a professional trainer, facilitator, consultant, and educator with over 25 years' experience creating positive learning environments, accomplished by focusing on identifying issues and opportunities for improvement. Dr. Jones received her doctorate in education with a specialization in adult education from the University of Georgia. Her dissertation researched the various adult learning processes utilized in accessing information. Today, Ulrica is the president of Eventual Success, LLC, a global consulting company offering training and development services through innovative programs tailored to the learner. She was the first chair and started the SCORE chapter in Middle Georgia, and she presently serves as a mentor and is also a member of our National Women's Committee. So welcome to all of you. The first question that I'm going to ask is really for all of our three panelists. What is your definition of a mentor or mentorship? What role does this play in entrepreneurial growth, management, and success? Cathy, I'm not sure if you're on the line or not. Are you there? Okay, why don't we go on over to Ulrica. Can you answer the question about mentorship and what role this plays in entrepreneurial growth, management, and success?
Yes, I can. Hello, everyone. In reference to, can you hear me clearly?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, great.
We're good.
In reference to mentorship, I would define it as one that develops a relationship. A mentor is one that develops a relationship with someone that can share knowledge and experience about a particular topic and guide the mentee toward a successful outcome. And that's something that will be determined, within the relationship. The sharing and guidance plays a very important role in entrepreneur growth, management, and success by really planting seeds, giving the mentee a safe place to discuss their ideas and thoughts, to ponder the what ifs, to expand on an idea that they are not able to follow up with or having problems kind of conceptualizing. My email quote that I created says, "Knowledge is power. Only if you use it, then share it." So having a mentor allows sharing to go both ways. When I mentor, I learned something also that can be things that I will use in my own business or personal life. And being a mentor with the SCORE has really allowed me to help build relationships and also to share. And with SCORE, it's the mentoring methodology. The methodology that you stop and suspend judgment, which is the S in the word slate. Slate is the mentoring methodology. So S is stop and suspend judgment. L is listen and learn. A is assess and analyze. T is test ideas and teach with tools. And E is expectation setting and encouraging the dream. So, when you're mentoring, there is a relationship, and both the mentor and the mentee plays a role in it.
Thank you, Ulrica. Appreciate those comments. And, slate training is something that every SCORE mentor goes through. It is our mentoring methodology. And we'll talk about being a SCORE volunteer a little later on, but you can be assured that if you're getting mentoring from SCORE, it is going through a certain methodology. It's not just, just out there. So thanks for bringing that up, Ulrica. Chunny, what about you? What about the definition of a mentorship? What does that mean to you?
Mentors can mean different things to different people, but the way I look at a mentor is mentors are more skilled than you in a particular area of life and can guide you in their wisdom, an area of your life that you were trying to improve. I don't know about you, but I'd rather be the dumbest person in the room than the smartest because I want to learn. I'm curious. And smart people take advantage of mentors and ask for help and guidance. Just as you would hire someone who is smarter than you, it is equally important to ask questions from people that you can learn from. And they're also there to be your cheerleader when you've done something well, because it's important to celebrate the small successes too. And I think it's great to have multiple mentors in different areas of your life that you're trying to improve.
Makes all the sense in the world. I always think that well, and I know because I was an entrepreneur, that being an entrepreneur is a very lonely existence, if you will. There's very few people that understand what you're going through. There's very few people that you can bounce real ideas off of. And so a mentor becomes all the more important, I think, when you're an entrepreneur and trying to have a successful business. So yeah, I agree with both of you. There's some real interesting things there. You know, I had one of my clients just tell me yesterday that just the opportunity to bounce ideas off of one another and get somebody's different perspective. It doesn't matter if it's right or wrong, just to have that conversation meant all the world to her. So thank you so much for your comments there. Let's go to the second question. And being that Cathy is not on the line, I think maybe we can all just tackle this one. And that's to discuss the challenges that we faced as a woman with an established career in business, ownership, operations, and entrepreneurship. So either Ulrica or Chunny, you want to try that, talk about the challenges that you faced, either, you know, in a small business or in your careers? Ulrica?
Yes. Some of the challenges I have faced trying to get up running with my business, it did deal with not having mentors to go and speak with. I've asked several individuals to be mentors, and they really did not see, I guess, the benefit of taking on that role. And once I kind of spoke with them to kind of give them my idea of what I needed, some really didn't feel that they had the time to devote to that. So really not having those key people that you can go and talk with to just kind of throw some ideas out, to brainstorm about some different methods you would possibly want to use. That was a challenge for me. Also, fortunate, my type of business is not one that I had to have a lot of overhead. So having capital was not an issue for me. The main thing was really making connections, relationships, and it would have been great to have someone in my area to talk with, to just, you know, see how they felt about certain issues that I was dealing with. But I was having a different, I guess, different challenges to connect some of the dots.
Yeah, I think challenges that we have as women also, you know, I think women have different challenges by themselves. You know, one of the things I always say about women is we like to be liked, right? And we don't like to hear no for an answer. And so much of a business is the sales perspective and the, you know, getting out there. And somehow our male counterparts don't seem to have those hesitations. And so that's again why, as you just said, a mentor becomes so very important to build up your self-confidence a little bit. And get you out there. So, Chunny, do you have anything you want to say on this particular topic on challenges?
Yes. I know that most women that you speak to, normally the challenge of you know, establishing a career is people usually talk about, you know, managing a family and, you know, and a business at the same time. So I can't relate with that because I'm not a mother yet and I don't have a family yet. But I do think that women from different cultures, you know, they have issues because they may not be encouraged to get into business or aren't taken seriously sometimes. And I know that when I was married, I was expected to follow my husband around instead of following my own dreams. But I'm no longer married, so now I have a lot more freedom. But I've just learned a lot over the years, and one of the most valuable lessons that I learned was that you teach people how to treat you. And so that's something that's helped me overcome challenges of being a woman and being taken seriously. And you know, women, you know, don't have to walk behind their husbands anymore, and we can stand up for ourselves and be taken seriously.
Yeah, you know, I was doing a presentation to a women's group in Kansas not too long ago, and I have a good friend who is actually one of my clients. I mentored her for a while. She has a consulting company that helps women-owned businesses, and so I was trying to get some information from her as to topics I should talk about. One of the things we started talking about was time management, and that's just about the challenges that women have, you know, in the business world. And she said to me something I thought was quite funny, and that was that time management is something that men have made up. That actually what it is for us is just prioritization. And we can have a lot of different things, but we have to have our priorities right, and we have to figure out what they are for each individual. So yeah, so certainly we know that there are challenges for all of us, and I know everybody on this call can think of several of them that they've had in their careers and continue to have. Okay, moving on to question number 3. Why do women of color, in comparison to their white male counterparts, lack mentors, access to mentorship in the workplace, and access to business guidance? What can be done to combat this disparity? And again, we've talked about this just for a minute, but Ulrica, do you want to take this one?
Yes, I can. You know, there are so many factors that may contribute to why women, and especially women, are mentors. And it's because it could be just some of the different issues that we have to face in reference to the sexism, lack of diversity, the prejudice, sometimes stereotypes. Many times, if you're wanting to get a mentor, many times the relationship between a mentor and mentee works best when, you know, both share similar experiences and cultural backgrounds. But when you're in some areas, some businesses, you really don't have that same, you don't see people that are just like you, that may be part of your same culture, that you can go and ask to be a mentor for you. So that in that said, you may have to, you know, talk with someone and discuss a little more in detail what you're looking for, because they don't normally feel that they can really share information. Maybe they really don't understand what you're wanting from them. Many times, if a company has a mentorship program already developed, then it's a little easier to approach someone about being a mentor. So the main thing to do is try to find someone, and you said, what can we do to combat this disparity? You know, we really have to talk with someone and let them know that what we're looking for. We're not looking for someone to, you know, give us a handout. We really want them to help us navigate through some of the doors that may be closed, and we don't know why they're closed. They may have some internal information that they could share with us to help us do better at whatever the area we're wanting to succeed in. So I think it's all about knowledge and information and being open, sharing, and then also making sure that when you do get a mentor, it's a relationship that you have to perform just as you want the mentor to perform. And that can be kind of difficult in the sense that if the mentor feel like you're taking from them and you're not giving, it's not a win-win situation. So you want to make sure it's a win-win situation.
Hi, this is Natalie here, founder of Walker's Legacy. Dr. Ulrica, thank you so much for that answer. I wanted to jump in here also and provide some opinion on this question, particularly because Walker's Legacy is a platform built to empower multicultural women in entrepreneurship and in their professional careers. And quite frankly, I think one of the ways in which women, particularly women of color, since that was pointed out by this slide, can ensure that they have mentors is, one, being very clear on what they're seeking mentorship for. A lot of times people ask for mentors, but when you ask them what they're seeking guidance on, there's just really no clarity there. And so I think when you have people who have very minimal amounts of time, and as was just previously mentioned, when you have people who may not be familiar with you on a number of different levels, right? May not be familiar with you as a person, may not be familiar with mentoring a woman, may not be familiar with the challenges of what it means to be a woman of color in the entrepreneurial space. I think it's really important to make sure that you're coming to the table with clear and concise reasons for why you want to speak with them. And then on top of that, everyone likes to mentor someone that they know is actionable. So mentors don't have much time to spare. And so when they mentor you, they want to know the next time that they talk to you, if they talk to you again, that there were things that you did as a result of the conversation that they had with you to maximize their engagement. And then the last point I'll put here is, I think for women in general, women of color specifically, as this question is asking, it is absolutely imperative that we show up to networking events, that we are confident, that we know what we're doing, that we have the self-esteem needed to go meet people who've never met us before and really ask people what they do and share what we do from a hand of value and how and why we're interested in connecting with them. And I think that is a way to reduce the disparity by being in places and spaces that don't always look like, have people that look like you, and in those spaces being actionable about networking and interacting with all there.
Great. Thank you very much, Natalie. That's absolutely, I couldn't agree. And I think we all are in agreement with that. Finding a mentor is not that easy. As Natalie said, you need to really figure out what it is you want from that mentor, and then together you can figure it out. At SCORE, we try and assign our new clients to mentors that make sense for them, depending on certainly what their business is about. Somebody that has experience in the same business, but it also has to be people that you can relate to. And sometimes at SCORE, you may have, 3 or 4 different mentors for different things. And I think that really helps a lot too, because you get so much, different kinds of opinions from different kinds of people. So be careful when you pick your mentors though, as you're going through and figuring out what it is you really want from them. So, and I think also that will, combat some of this disparity that we see with women and women of color. So thank you very much for that conversation. The next question is about you. What made you want to become a SCORE mentor, and what was your journey into that mentorship? Chunny, I know you've got a great story for us, so why don't you go ahead and take this one?
So I understand how crucial mentors are, because I owe many, if not most of my life successes to my mentors, and they really have shaped who I am from childhood until now. I was originally at SCORE as a client to receive mentorship for my family business. My mom was struggling with her business and she was about to close it. And I mean, sure, I understood marketing and online sales, but there were so many other aspects of business that I didn't understand. So I approached SCORE and I received mentorship from some very prominent restaurateurs in the community, and they really helped me out. So having good mentors, really, it saved our business. And it was my mom and I that were running the place, 2 women. And later on, when I told our district director, Peter Fong, about my background and what I did at Google, he expressed how there was this big need in the space of online sales. So he asked me to mentor small business owners who were struggling with online marketing. And I immediately signed up because I saw the value that mentorship had on our business. It might have just been a few words of advice that changed everything. And so I really wanted to have that impact on someone else. A little bit of my time would go a long way for someone that, took my information and used it to their advantage. I think almost always people are willing to help others succeed. I think innately many of us like to feel admired and will trade our time to share what we know so that we feel that we are adding value to someone's life. And that way we are sort of leaving a legacy. Or maybe it's just to feel relevant and we want to pay it forward. But knowing that we have the power to impact many lives is reason enough to be a mentor. We don't really think of it, but each business impacts many, many lives, from the people who are hired in the business to the vendors and services and goods that each organization buys or employs. So I think it's really important to help people stay in business because it has far-reaching impact. And that's where mentorship really comes in.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting. So many of our very, very best mentors at SCORE were clients. And in some ways may still be clients because they saw that the value of what they received really helped them. Ulrica, you want to tell us your story and then I'll tell mine? What made you want to become a SCORE mentor?
Yes, I mean, the mentoring, I went to a American Express open event in Atlanta, and that was my first time really encountering SCORE. And from that, I decided I want to be a part of SCORE. And so I went in being a mentor, and what I'm going to say really kind of speaks to the number 5 question: how do women in entrepreneurship and business become and develop into a mentor? Just as you said earlier, you know, some of our SCORE mentors did come to SCORE for mentoring. And so being that I met the group from the capital in my state in Georgia, from Atlanta, that they were just wonderful, and I just wanted to be a part of that group. I know I didn't know everything about starting a business, but I know that I had started a business and I had experience, and I had, you know, stories to tell about what I had learned on that journey that I could share with someone that could help them possibly, you know, avoid those barriers and different situations that I found myself in trying to maneuver and become a business owner. So it's so important to pay it forward. I heard that said earlier, and I appreciate all the comments from Natalie, because, you know, it's so important that you have to pay it forward, and you have to find yourself in places that you're not there all the time, and you don't oftentimes see yourself represented, but yet and still you know that you have something that can be shared with others to make their life better. So that's sort of what the mentoring really means to me, just helping others have that safe space to talk and put their ideas out, and you kind of give them that shoulder to say, yeah, you can do it, and you know, it may take some time. You may have to do different things, but it can happen. You can make it happen.
Yeah, we all have different stories, and I remember I retired from I was a corporate person and retired very early in my career, and went to work with my husband in our family business. But I was kind of, I wanted something to do, and I don't mean wanted something to do. What I meant was I had spent my whole life, you know, in corporate America, bringing up a family, never had the opportunity to volunteer anywhere because I was busy, as we all are. And when I retired early and was only working part-time, I thought, well, now what am I going to do? And I love business. I loved business. I loved mentoring younger people, you know, throughout my career. And I found SCORE. And I thought, you know, this really makes sense for me. I found that I tried a lot of volunteer opportunities when I was looking, which was, believe it or not, about 12 years ago now. And I just thought that SCORE was the right fit. And it is about helping people. It's about giving back. It's about paying it forward. It's about all those kinds of things. But when you have a client that you see be successful, and you've helped them be successful, it is the most wonderful feeling in the world, because what we do with 10 hours a day or 14 hours a day of our lives is our business, and helping them out really makes a huge difference. And so as if you're looking for volunteer opportunities, and if those are the kinds of things that are interesting to you, then SCORE might be the right place. So moving on, the last question that we have is about women in entrepreneurship, business, and how do they become and develop into a mentor. And I'm going to open this up to both Chunny and Ulrica. How does it happen? How do people in business, in entrepreneurship, become and develop into a mentor?
Yeah,
Chunny, you want to take it first?
I suggest.
Sure. So I think, step one would be to find a mentor who recognizes your strengths and helps you build self-awareness. I think that's really important. And then step two is when you recognize someone that you know is struggling and you can help them by just spending a little bit of time with them, do it. When someone comes to you and asks you for help, just do it and pay it forward, and you're a mentor. But once you've done step one, you'll understand the value and will automatically want to do step two, because you'll realize the value of paying it forward.
Right. And it's not, I don't think it's something that happens on day one. I think in this particular question, the develop word is a real good one. I see a lot of people start as a mentor at SCORE, but don't really develop into a really good mentor until they learn from others. And that's the other thing about being a SCORE mentor or being a mentor of any kind, is you really want to want to continue to learn. And we call it SCORE, lifelong learning. It really is. Yeah. Ulrica, you want to step in here?
As I said, don't feel that you don't know everything about starting a business if you're thinking about becoming a SCORE mentor. But, if you know anything, I'm sure that's more than you're developing. You're developing along the way. With SCORE, you're learning while you mentor. Every situation will not be the same, but you have experience to share. You also have other mentors that you can call on for assistance. That's something that we really do a lot in SCORE Middle Georgia. We do a lot of co-mentoring. So when you co-mentor, you have someone else there with you to assist if you run into some type of question that maybe you feel you don't have all the answers to. But don't let fear or thinking you don't know enough stop you from, sharing your knowledge and that can help someone grow. And whatever your interest is, look to see if there's organizations that have already mentor programs, structured mentor programs. And that will assist you in, getting in and also helping others. So just the main thing is no fear that you can't do, you can't help, you don't see how. You can make a time, I know some of us, we live these lives that we don't know when we're going to get extra time to do anything. But I think that if we can schedule an hour or two every month or so to pay it forward, it gives us a different appreciation.
Yeah, thank you so very much. I think we really have covered the gamut of the mentorship, being a mentor and getting a mentor, and how important that is to all of us. So I just want to talk for a little bit before I turn it back to Rachel and to Bridget about, just to summarize what we've talked about. At SCORE, 56% of our clients are women, and only 22% of our mentors are women. And so when we talked a little while ago about matching up people with the correct mentors, I know that, frankly, all of my clients are women. I didn't even realize that until a couple months ago. And I was like, wow, how is that? And I think it's just as a natural gravitation. So there is a needed score for more women mentors. Our mentors share their expertise across 62 industries at SCORE. Again, I mentioned earlier that we have over 10,000 volunteers, so we're very wide-based in terms of industries. We do offer free confidential mentoring in person, via email or video. So as I think it was Ulrica just said, it doesn't matter, the time that we have. We can do it from the comfort of our homes through video or through email. And we certainly would do in person, but we're very flexible because mentoring can be held in different ways. We do offer free confidential business mentoring. It's free, free is the key word there, and free business tools. If you go to our website, which I know Bridget's going to talk about, you can see templates, tips online, everything that you need for your business. The workshops, I think, are one of the most important things that we do. The face-to-face workshops is an opportunity to talk to other people that are in similar situations that are doing the same kinds of things that you're doing, to really network with them. And then the online webinars that are held each week give you an opportunity, again, in the comfort of your own home. People learn in different ways to learn about business, and it runs the gamut. Bridget, I don't know if you're going to talk about it or not, but from QuickBooks, how to use QuickBooks, to how to hire your first employee, to how to get financing, it really runs across the board. So what we try and do is offer as many services as we can for business education to our entrepreneurs. And we do have about a little over 300 locations throughout the United States. So it doesn't matter where you are, you can get mentoring or you can be a mentor, I guarantee it. We're headquartered in Herndon, Virginia. And with that, I think I'm going to turn it back over to Rachel. And thank you so much for your attention. And I look forward to talking with you and hopefully chatting with you either as a mentor or mentee. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Beth. Thank you to you for moderating what we know was a very rewarding and informational webinar today. Thank you to our speakers from the SCORE Mentor Network, Chunny and Ulrica. And before I turn it over to Bridget again, I just want to reiterate how proud Walker's Legacy is as the leading and largest global platform for multicultural women in business and entrepreneurship to partner with an organization like SCORE to tackle the disparity that we know exists for women of color in their access to business mentors, entrepreneurship mentors, and overall business counseling. I'll now move it forward to Ms. Bridget Pollock, the VP of Marketing and Communications of SCORE, to share a little bit more about the resources that SCORE provides, after which I'll wrap up our webinar here with more resources on how you can connect with Walker's Legacy, our programs, our entrepreneurship trainings, and our membership. Bridget?
Thank you so much, Rachel. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you today. We are so fortunate to have Beth, Cathy, Chunny, and Ulrica as some of our amazing SCORE mentors to share their experiences with you. And we hope that you found some information in this webinar and you will take advantage. One of the things I just want to reiterate are what Beth said of how SCORE can help you. We provide that free mentoring. It is face-to-face and online, whatever is best for you, the small business owner or the person looking to start. We know you're busy and have a lot going on, and we are really dedicated to meeting the client where they are when it is convenient for them. We also have workshops and online resources that supplement that mentoring to make sure that the clients and the mentors have the best up-to-date knowledge on the myriad of business topics that would come up. As Beth said, anything from business planning, marketing, finance, HR, tech, any issue that might impact a business owner. We strive to collect, curate, and present that information so that the small business owner can be prepared to meet the challenges head on and achieve success. If you can move to the next slide, I do want to ask, for those of you on the call, do you have business talent to share? Hopefully you've heard and seen that being a mentor can really inspire and motivate you. You have knowledge and expertise to give back. And so if you do decide to volunteer with SCORE, we provide training and co-mentoring so that you can get a better understanding of the experience. We do believe in lifelong learning. We provide online training modules to enhance your knowledge and continuing education at the local level as well. We have members all across the country with varying backgrounds and experiences that you can network and augment your expertise. And, you know, there are various opportunities. So scheduling is flexible to fit your other commitments and obligations. And if you're not ready to be a mentor, you know, there are other opportunities for you in volunteering at SCORE. If you move to the next slide, you can see that we need subject matter experts, workshop presenters, people who can coordinate events in the community, as well as administrators. So if that's something that appeals to you and you want to work with this great network of experts, get involved in your community, support small businesses, we can find a role for you here at SCORE. So don't wait. Join SCORE today. Reach out whether you're looking to get a mentor yourself to start or grow your business or become a volunteer. The best way to reach out to us is to visit us online at score.org, but you can also pick up the phone and give us a call at 800-634-0245. We so appreciate your time and all that you do and look forward to this partnership with Walker's Legacy. It's a fantastic organization and we are proud to be a partner with you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Bridget. And again, thank you to the entire SCORE mentorship team for joining us today and continuing what we know will be a really great and motivational partnership as we continue to host programs such as this to increase the amount of multicultural women who serve as mentors and receive mentorship. Bridget, Beth, and the rest of the SCORE team share with you a little bit more of how you can get connected with the SCORE network. And to close, I'd like to share a little bit more about how you can become connected with us. At the bottom of your screen here, you'll see our website, www.walkerslegacy.com. Again, Walker's Legacy is a global platform for the multicultural woman in business and entrepreneurship. We reach everyone from the university woman who wants to learn more about entrepreneurship to the seasoned corporate executive who wants to build her own venture. You can engage with us as a member, as a student member, a business member, or an individual professional member. You can also engage with us in our online or in-person programs. As I mentioned earlier, we are in a number of cities, including DC, Detroit, Chicago, LA, Atlanta, Houston, and the list goes on and on. And lastly, you can engage with us through our entrepreneurship training programs. Our upcoming Prospectus Online Business Accelerator is a 9-week online accelerator specifically made for women of color founders who would like to expand, grow, and innovate their business this year. Again, all that can be found on www.walkerslegacy.com. We want to again thank Congresswoman Adams for joining us in the beginning of the call as well, and our friends at SCORE. Please remain connected. You'll receive some more information on this after the call this afternoon. We thank you and have a wonderful day.